It's Dragon Ball time! Hello and welcome to another figure review. Today I'm going to have a look at the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Son Goku, and we finally got the first one of hopefully a Dragon Ball line. I mean, I already got Master Roshi. We've seen the pictures of that one coming. I don't know when that one's coming out actually, but I think it's still this year. In the coming months we have some pictures of the figure in the back, even with the dragon, and he does come with a Dragon Ball, I've been told, so I don't want to wait any longer yet, let's dig in. Fun fact, while browsing the internet today, I actually stumbled over some pictures from Tamashii Nation's 2015 event. I think where they showed this guy for the first time, where his gi looked a lot more orangey, but surprisingly the figure still looked pretty much the same as what we got, so how did it take so long to get this guy out? Now, one of the most important questions I had from the get-go is the size of this guy. Is he in scale with everybody else? Let's have a look at it right now. He stands at 10 centimeters to the top of his head, which is 4 inches, and if you're really going to the top of his hair, that's 5 inches, 12.5 centimeters. But really, to show you this, and actually to check myself, I want to have a Goku in here, and I'm just gonna have my Awakening Goku because he's the only one standing straight up right now. So here you go, size comparison. Does it fit in? I found a picture on the internet where they stand side by side, and I guess it does. I still feel like he's a little bit too tall, but I mean, it's okay. Once again, it's one of these things, if they really condense it even more, I don't know if it would have worked. You know, you gotta put all this articulation and everything in this figure, so, you know, you gotta make it work at a size that's reasonable. Now, as far as the figure goes, there's no shading on it whatsoever. They really slacking on that one. Again, I mean, it's really weird. We get something like the God Goku, which has a lot of shading, and then we got something like this, which just doesn't have any. But regardless of that, the hair is very nicely molded. It fits. I mean, it's really spiky, and as you can tell, he has a little bit more of a chibi vibe because of the big hat and everything. That is accurate. That's correct. I like that. Now, having a look at the face, you're really having a smarky look. With the smiling open mouth, got a nice painted and molded teeth in there, with also the big ears. We got the Roshi symbol on the front painted on very nicely. Also, we got one in the back. You got his small little fist, the wristbands, the belt, which I think, yeah, that one goes around. We also got a tail in the back, which is fairly nicely molded. It really could use some shading. It always looks so muddy when you don't really put anything on it. And down at the shoes, and that's all your detail for your kid Goku. Now, as far as the articulation goes, he has some really weird stuff going on behind his face, and I saw it and I just wanted to show you. You have a ball hinge over here, which still connects into another ball, but I don't think that's really doing much. It's rotating around a little bit, but you don't really have a lot of space in there, so kind of useless, I would say. As far as the articulation itself goes, the head gets some motion. I mean, because it's pretty big, they didn't leave any huge gaps over here, so you're not really getting much more other than the wiggle motion. You can move it around, you can tilt it side to side, also a little bit. Now, as far as the shoulder goes, now I don't really know what's going on. Usually we have this piece which is just connected to the shoulder itself, but this time it seems to be the entire joint moving out like a butterfly joint, and it is actually nicely molded. You have a bit of a gap over there, but that's forgivable because it really seamlessly kind of moves into there, and when you put it all the way back, of course, then it looks the cleanest. Let's push it all the way forward, and there you go. I mean, that's pretty good. I haven't really seen one of those. Then we got a ball hinge in the shoulder, so you can move that up and down. Also rotate it around at the bicep. Another ball hinge in the elbow, so same thing, you can move that up and down, and you can rotate it around. It is a little bit stiff, so be careful to not break it. Then we got another cut ball joint in the fist. That's the classic stuff. Move that up and down, and all the way around. I don't really know what's going on with the neck. It seems like it's rotating a little bit, but I don't really think it's supposed to. I'm just pushing on it, and it goes back. So it's just assembled over there. I don't think there's any motion in it. Now, as far as the torso goes, I think this is just a hinge on a ball joint, so you can move that back and forth and side to side. Wiggle it around, and it's one of these things you might say, oh, this is ugly. I agree with you, but you can push it in. And you have not really any motion. It still rotates around a little bit. But if you want the good stuff, you pull it out, but you're gonna have the hinge, and you're gonna have a gap in the back. So there's the big ball joint. Yeah, there you go. Down here at the torso, he rotates around. He has the belt just on a peg, so you can bring that all the way around. You have the legs go out to the side, but they really get blocked by this piece, like with all the SH Figuarts these days. And it goes forward, and it goes back, and this just falls out. Alright. Is that not connected anywhere? So, okay, I'm not gonna worry about that right now. But, one more thing. Well, then you could get it up. But I just realized something. Does that seem weird to you? It kind of sticks out weirdly. Can you pull it down? Can you pull this down? No, there's not. It looks like there's a hinge, but it's not movable up there. So, I mean, just standing straight, you're not gonna notice it. But, I mean, if you're doing some kicking poses, it will stand out a little bit, but it's not the worst thing in the world. And, of course, we also get a 5 swivel. And now to the knees. They look horrible. Please, knees. Actually, send Storm Collectibles. They seem to do knees a lot better. Then we got the ball joint in the foot, so you can move that. You have some good range in there, so you can move that left and right, back and forth. And of course, you have a toe hinge on his tiny foot, and I'm actually having trouble getting it up. So I think that's it. I think that's all you're getting out of it. I mean, it is a small foot. Alright, for the accessories, you got all these hands. How many hands? All these hands. First of all, I want to have a look at the faces though. He has the open mouth, smiling face with the eyes closed. And then another one, more neutral face, but still smiling. He's always smiling, like even in the snarky one he has in the box. And then we got some open blast hands. I don't really want to touch them too much because they're probably going to fall off. 2 more grabby hands, booby grab hands. 2 peace sign hands, 2 holding hands for the staff, we'll get to that. 2 Dragon Ball holding hands, which don't work very well. Let me actually demonstrate that if I can real quick. I'm just gonna have the Dragon Ball in here. And it doesn't really snap into anything. You think you could kind of use it and do that, but no. Just kind of lays on there, kind of rests on his hand. Which you probably could just use the grab hand for it. And then we got 2 karate chop hands. And then we got the 4-star Dragon Ball right here. I don't know how well you can see that on the light. Just some see-through orange plastic with the stars printed on. Nothing too fancy, nothing bad though. Then we got his staff, his elongated staff. And he got another staff to put on his back around his chest. And we got another tail, which I don't really know, I guess just kind of to hold on. I thought at first it was to hold on to the staff, but it doesn't really. I mean, it kind of stays in there. And it is soft plastic, so I guess you can push on it, so you can play around with it. But it's not the most reliable. And finally, we got the Flying Nimbus, which is very sturdy. Actually, it's kind of heavy. But it is very nicely molded. Has even some shading going on, so that's cool. What I don't really care about is this piece sticking out over here. You can rotate that around, but it leaves a big gap, and it doesn't really accomplish anything. As you can tell, we have some more peg holes down there, and one more up here. Now, what is that for? Well, Figuarts, for once, and I say for once, I gotta give them credit for it. They gave you the entire base, the entire shebang, with 3 arms. 2 to support your Nimbus, because it's pretty heavy. And once again, I don't know why they made it so heavy. But it probably works with 1. You know what? I'm gonna try to balance it with 1 just now. That kind of works. It's a little wobbly, but no, it's okay. That's okay. So we got that part 1, and then we got this other one with the pincer on it, which actually has a lot of articulation points. I don't know why they made it so long. I guess if you want to display them without the Nimbus, you're gonna need more range. That's also fair, but I think I'm definitely doing that. I think I'm definitely using the Nimbus. Because I like the Nimbus, as it collapses under the weight, and I can't really get it on. Yeah, there we go. So, like I'm saying, it really just sticks out weirdly. He's not in a good pose right now, I know that, but I'm not. As everything is falling apart, there it is, just to show you the Nimbus and this stuff, and yay! Accessories. And that's gonna do it, but before I go, one more thing I forgot. The tail is on a ball joint, so you can rotate that around and also help him balance everything out. Because he is kind of hard to balance with the big head and the small feet. But I mean, if it's not working out, you still have the base with all these pieces or the Nimbus and whatnot. But final thoughts of this figure, I do recommend this 100%. It is a nice figure. It's a good looking figure. Once again, I didn't do any shading, but that's kind of what Figuarts it's just so random. Sometimes you get shading, sometimes you don't. But overall, this guy looks good. Comes with a ton of accessories, and for the love of Kami, it's finally something new. It's a different, I mean, it's still a Goku, but it's a different scale. So I'm hoping this finally opens up Figuarts doing some more figures in this scale, like Goten, Trunks, or, Gotenks, the best character in Dragon Ball. So there you go. As usual, guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like, and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, gameplay stuff, and whatever Kid Goku wants.